Hello, greetings, and welcome to the 17th episode of our 30 days marathon journey into discussing 30 important questions singles must ask while dating or courting. And today, the question you have to ask someone you're dating or courting is what level of independence do you value in a relationship? What level of independence do you value in a relationship? The Bible says in Genesis chapter 2 and verse 20, from 18 to 24, that it is not good for a man to be alone. And closing in verse 24, it says, "For this reason, a man shall leave his mother and father and cleave to his wife, and both of them shall become one." God's original intention for marriage is for husband and wife to be one. But that doesn't mean that when individuals get into relationship or they get into marriage, they lose their individuality. They do not lose their individuality. But God here is talking about a blending that is supposed to take place between both people when they get into a relationship, especially a relationship of marriage. And so we have to there's supposed to be a balance created between independence and interdependence. A balance must be created between independence and interdependence. And the two people should have a discussion to understand what level of independence would they tolerate in their relationship, and what level of interdependence will be tolerated or allowed in that relationship. There are two extremes. Some people advocate for over-independence, and over-independence, it talks about people doing what they want, going the way they want, pursuing the dreams they choose, and take decisions without consulting the other people in matters of finances, in matters of education, in matters of projects, in matters, everything. They want to be themselves and don't want to give in a space to anyone in their life. The other extreme is some people become too dependent. Some people over-dependent. Some people become too dependent on the other person to the extent that they lose their identity. To the extent that they lose their identity, they don't have any voice in that relationship. They just allow themselves being led and contribute nothing in that relationship when it comes to decision, when it comes to major decisions in that relationship. And so these are two extremes, and they are not healthy. There is supposed to be a discussion between the two to be able to see if they blend at the level at which they think. Because if you are somebody who wants a relationship in a way that, who wants a relationship to be in a way that the two individuals, they can mutually contribute to see that the relationship functions and succeeds, and that person feels that they want to live their life and would not want anybody to interfere in their dreams, interfere in their projects, interfere in their planning. They want to be themselves, do their thing, and no one has to interfere. Then there is bound to be conflict in that relationship. Yes, if you are over-independent, you don't make space for anybody. And I have the opinion that somebody who is over-independent, who doesn't want to be talked to, who doesn't want to be questioned, who doesn't want to be accountable, who doesn't want to give reports of whatever is going on in their life, that person is not ready to marry. And that's why Paul said in the letters to the Corinthians, he said, the body of the man belongs to the woman, and the body of the woman belongs to the man. There's a kind of blending that happens in relationship. And the moment you are getting ready to marry, or you get engaged into any relationship that you are thinking will lead to marriage, you need to discuss these things to be sure that this person you are engaging with is someone who has a space for you. Don't be engaged with somebody and would want to, move on with somebody who would not give you a space in their life and who would be doing their own thing and doesn't want to give you any attention and doesn't want to create any space for you in their lives. That is not a good thing to do. So I encourage you to ask this question. What level of independence they value? So you check if what they are thinking is what they are thinking. And if the direction they are going with their life, the way, the philosophy they have about independence, interdependence, blending together is what you are thinking. One of the major areas of conflict in marriage is you have two people who come together to form a union, and yet there is no union between them. Each person is insisting on living their lives, on doing their own thing and going their separate directions. There is no marriage. There is no marriage. There's no union. There is no oneness. There is no unity. Each person insists on doing their own thing because they will tell you, before you met me, I had my life and I have to live my life the way I want to live it. It doesn't matter what you are saying or what you are doing. I want to live my life the way I want it. And that is not a good thing to happen in a relationship. If you want to continue in a relationship, be sure that that person has a place for you. If the person doesn't have a place for you in their life, in their project, in their dreams, in their life's purpose, if they don't have a place for you in their life and they only insist that you have to follow everything they want without giving you space and without making allowance for you, then it is something to make a rethink. And these are areas of conflict in marriage, where you have people who are married and they are there for years and each person is doing their own thing. I've had to talk with people and you see, nobody is willing to yield to anybody. They are both masters of themselves. They are both, bosses of themselves, and they don't want to listen to nobody. They are not even empathetic. They don't want to give attention to the other person's feelings. They don't want to give room for nobody. And each time you talk with them, they do everything to defend their individual positions, and they are not listening to you. That is, you have two over-independent people coming together, and this is sponsored by greed. It is sponsored by greed. It is sponsored by selfishness. It is sponsored by overestimation of your self-image, sponsored by strong personalities, which are not, people are not willing to yield, to submit to one another. You would want to get into a relationship where you have someone with whom you can discuss. Always look for a middle point. Always look for a compromise. Not a relationship where everybody is a boss, moving to their own direction, doing their own things, and never caring what's happening to you. Thank you for going all the way with me to episode number 17. Please look forward for episode number 18, as we shall be answering more important questions or discussing more important questions singles must ask while dating or courting. Till I may come your way again, I've been your friend, Pastor Divine. Please share, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Living the Full Life, whose link I'm going to attach as a comment to this video. God bless you. Share. Shalom. Till I come your way again.